What's up, Sooner Nation? Welcome to the Sooner Surge, where we are here to talk about another softball loss. But before we do that, check out the FanStop, fanstop.com. Use code SURGE for 10% off your first 3 months of the Shirt of the Month Club. You won't be disappointed. Wearing great Sooner gear around town. Listen, Jay, Sooners lose tonight, 9-4. That's out. I can't believe that's coming out of my mouth. 9-4 in a game that went over 3 hours. OU leaves, I think, 11 runners on base. They walked 9 times, had plenty of opportunities to score runs and didn't do it. And then on the other side of things, did not pitch well, probably the worst outing in a combined staff all season. And they lose going away 9-4 to BYU.
Yeah, it was a bad game all around. I mean, base running, you could say defensively. I mean, a couple of times they could have got a double play, didn't. Hitting wise, I mean, you get the leadoff runner on every single inning, and you just don't have a whole lot to show for it. And then base running, like I said, and then pitching. I mean, May starts off, struggles, and then first one out of the pen, they bring in Dill, which I was a little bit surprised that Dill came in, and she didn't pitch great. And then Keeney comes in, and Keeney allows 3 or 4 runs. It was just a bad game altogether. I can't remember the last time OU got beat handily like this in softball. I mean, they got beat handily tonight, guys.
Yeah. I mean, there was a couple of big plays. I thought that the top of the 7th, it's 6-4. Keeney's in. There's one out. The BYU player rips one up the middle. Keeney makes the catch and doesn't lead Sanders enough, or Sanders didn't put herself in the right position. It was hard to tell, but they would have been out of the inning down 2, and then all of a sudden they're down 5. And that's a lot harder to come back from. They got 2 runners on in the bottom of the 7th, and story of the night, couldn't get them in. Couldn't get them around. And, I mean, Tiare Jennings tied the game up 4-4 with her bomb. They got back in it and then just could not hold BYU. They kept getting runners on base, kept scoring in innings, and OU kept getting their leadoff runner on base, but could not seem to score in bunches like we've been so accustomed to them doing lately.
Yeah, especially out at Love's Field. They've been really scoring a lot there. And you look at BYU, BYU can score runs. That's the thing. And they were very aggressive. BYU was at the plate. They were swinging at the first pitch a lot. They were very aggressive at the plate. And OU throws a lot of strikes, their pitchers, and they capitalized on it because they were hitting the ball. They were really, I felt like the aggressor all around the whole game, not just at the plate. Even pitching, I thought their pitching was going right at OU. I thought it looked like to me BYU was there to win and play, and OU was there. That's just me from an outside perspective watching the game. It looked like BYU wanted it big time. OU might have wanted it, but BYU really wanted it. And guys, that's not going to be anything new for OU, because every team they play, now that they're seeing teams beat them, all that's doing is making the confidence level of all these teams that are coming into Norman saying, we can do that. Louisiana did it. Texas did it. 2 out of 3. BYU did it. And now you're in another rubber game trying to win the series.
OU's got a kink in their armor right now. This is some adversity this team has not faced in a few years now. And how they respond is going to be telling. You got tomorrow now, a game in which Dill seems like she would be the one to go, but she went today and did not fare well.
I bet it'll be Maxwell.
It'll probably be Maxwell. And look, I for one wouldn't mind Monticelli starting a game every so often. I don't know if you can go wrong with that, but here, are there problems in Norman? I don't think overall there are. There are some problems, and they go by, it's called base running. Base running's been an issue all year. Lack of timely hitting or leaving runners on base has been an issue. They've scored in bunches a lot. They haven't scored throughout games very consistently lately. That's been an issue. Those are the 2 main issues, along with the last one being they just don't have that pitcher who can just shut and mow the other team down. like they've had.
I think Maxwell lately has been that. I do.
Maxwell's been that.
I think Maxwell's been really good, but other than her, I mean, you're right. And I think the thing you mentioned about timely hitting has been very inconsistent. I mean, the fact that you leave 11 runners on base, you have Avery Hodges up with the base loaded in the second, get nothing out of that. And it's just right. I mean, you look at past few years when they really needed a hit, somebody would get it. And there were a lot of games they won over the last few years that you probably thought, well, they shouldn't have won that game, but they did. They came through when they needed it. And that's really, I think, the big difference right now. So that's why I can say, yes, they're playing bad. They have issues. But I also think on the same hand, you could say this team can go win a natty. I still think that. I don't think none of these issues are issues that cannot be fixed, I think. And the base running, to me, is part of it. I mean, there's been sometimes it's been freshmen, okay? And you kind of expect it from players like that. Some of the ones that are from the veterans, then it's almost either it could be a lack of focus at the time. It could be a lot of things, but they are having issues on the base paths.
I am sure Patty Gasso is frustrated. That's given. There's enough seniors on this team, Jay, where they could also call a senior-led meeting if they want. But look, in the end, it's been about a week in a row that they've had. It's been a week-long slump, you could say, funk, that they've got to find their way out of. I mean, last night they win 8-0, but it was 4-0, and people are questioning, like, why is OU playing around with this team? And they explode for 4 runs there in the 5th. But I think more consistency is going to have to be there for this team moving forward. Everything they want to accomplish is there. Yeah, the streak's over. Is that in their mind that, well, we didn't do that, but we'll turn up. We'll flip a switch when we need to. I don't know. I think that needs to happen sooner rather than later.
Yeah, and here's the thing is I would have never thought I would have said this, and a lot of people probably wouldn't have been. Everyone said before the season, this team's not, you're not going to beat this team 2 out of 3 to beat them in the playoff in the postseason. Well, now in the past week they've lost 3 out of 5. 3 out of 5 games they've lost. Okay, so now you could say that they could lose 2 out of 3. I mean, they're getting ready to play BYU, and I should have said this at the beginning of the video. Shame on me for not. Okay, but kudos to BYU. First off, BYU came in there. BYU played their guts out, played very hard, aggressive, and honestly, tonight they looked like the better team. I mean, they were getting hits when they needed to. I mean, they're not the better team. OU is, but I'm saying kudos to BYU because you got to give them credit.
Yeah, and now, like you said, Jay, OU's lost 3 out of 5. Could be 4 out of 6 if they don't find a way tomorrow. But to lose 2 series in a row is a possibility, something I never thought we would be mentioning. But, yeah, you're right. People think they can beat OU now, and now OU's got to be even different because that is how they respond. They've got to respond, and that'll be tomorrow. So we'll see how they respond. But tonight they couldn't get it done. 9-4, BYU beats OU, and the Cougars get it done there at Love's Field. Thanks for watching the content here at the Sooner Surge. If you're not subscribed, please do so. We'll see you tomorrow. Boomer.
Yeah.